Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sport Breaks. I am your host, Dante Washington, aka Coach Peanut, coming here today to bring you the NFL's Monday night matchups update that went on last night. Very big games, very good games. A lot of things transpired last night. But before we get to that, make sure you subscribe to Sport Breaks here on Spotify or wherever you are getting your podcast from. Again, it is free. Like the content, go back and listen to the old stuff. Give me some comments, and I definitely will get back with you on whatever you need me to get at you about. Also, follow Sport Breaks on all your social media platforms, Instagram, X, Twitch. Search us out there, man, and look me up and definitely like the content and look for a lot of videos, YouTube, the works. Like I said before, I will be getting to a few video interviews soon with a lot of high school athletes. I definitely want to step out and try to interview a little some of our local youth as well. And I know a few cats that's in college. I'm gonna be trying to reach out to them too. So be on the lookout for a lot of things from myself and my Sport Breaks brand. So let's just dive on into it. First game I want to get to was the latter game that happened last night between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Uh, Pittsburgh came into the game 0-1. Cleveland came into the game 1-0 off of their win against the Bengals. So they had to go to Pittsburgh to face another AFC North divisional opponent. Like I said yesterday, I picked the Browns to win this game. But looking at the game last night and how things started off, I mean, to be honest, the first play of the game, if you did not see or if you have been hiding under a rock or you've been at work working a little bit too hard today, first play of the game, Deshaun Watson throws a pass that is tipped around and ultimately intercepted by Highsmith, and he returned it for a touchdown, the very first play after the kickoff. And just like that, Pittsburgh was up 7-0. Ultimately, second quarter, back and forth affair. Biggest thing that happened in the game happened to me in the second quarter where Nick Chubb was hit low. I've played football. I haven't played at the level that they are playing at. So I won't speak on that low hit or whether it was low, but you got to think Nick Chubb is not your ordinary running back. You know, if you haven't been in the weight room, there ain't no need going up high hitting him. But Nick Chubb was hurt very severely. Um, if you haven't seen it, if you are weak at heart or you are weak in the stomach area, I suggest you not look at any highlights of the hit. Um, it was very gruesome. So needless to say, Nick Chubb will, after all the reports that I've read and seen, Nick Chubb will be out for the remainder of the season. And for me, again, I've played the sport of football. Looking at that injury, I wonder, will Nick Chubb play football again? I mean, we've advanced a lot in sports medicine and sports surgery, but it just looked terrible, looked real horrible. So praying for Nick Chubb, praying for his family that's dealing with it, praying for the Browns that's dealing with it. It was just a lot, but the game went on, and again, it was a back and forth affair. Uh, Cleveland was up late in the game, and lo and behold, another turnover by the Cleveland Browns, and Mr. Johnny on the spot, TJ Watt, scooped the ball up, scored a touchdown, and that was the difference in the game last night as the Pittsburgh Steelers took the game 26-22. Watson went 22 of 40 for 235 yards, a touchdown, and also an INT. Ford stepped in for the injured Nick Chubb, and he rushed 7 times for 90 yards. Amari Cooper had a decent night. He had 7 catches for 90 yards. On the other side, Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett went 15 of 30 for 222 yards and a touchdown, and also an INT. Harris had a quiet night, but he rushed the ball for 10 carries for 43 yards. George Pickett had a decent night with 4 catches for 127 yards and a touchdown. Like I said, the defense had 2 touchdowns, 1 INT, and 1 fumble recovery. And it's a good note that the Pittsburgh Steelers have not lost a Monday night game since October 14th, 1991. I was 10 years old at the time. If you was to look at the game, I think they actually played a game one Monday night, and it was during the COVID season in 2020. They lost that game, but they didn't lose it on a Monday night. They started it on a Monday night and didn't get to finish it till Tuesday. But yeah, I've been to Pittsburgh. I've been to Heinz Field. It is a very gorgeous stadium, very big football town, very traditional football town, and it is not the norm place to just come in and you can play the kind of game that the Cleveland Browns played and get away with the win. I knew Pittsburgh had a defense. I picked them in my fantasy league, and they kind of really pulled the first game, so I let them go. Sorry on me, huh? But they played outstanding last night in the absence of Haywood. Their ends, T.J. Watt and Highsmith played really, really, really good ball. The back end played good ball. So Pittsburgh again won the game 26-22 and ran their record to 1-1. Cleveland falls to 1-1 as well. First game of the night pitted the New Orleans Saints coming to Charlotte to play the Carolina Panthers. The game, to me, looking at it, I was halfway bored. Few catches by Olave. Olave caught 6 for 86. Taysom Hill ran the ball pretty effectively. He ran 9 times for 75 yards. Derek Carr had 21 went 21 of 36 for 228 yards, but did not have a touchdown. He threw a pick. Bryce Young played sparingly okay, but if you look at his numbers, he was 22 of 33 for 153 yards and a touchdown. But again, this game to me was a little bit back and forth and a whole lot closer than I expected it to be. The Saints ended up winning the game 22-17. And again, I really doubted Carolina's defense, but Carolina defense came to play. And maybe I gave Derek Carr a little bit more credit than needed to be, because Derek Carr looked like the old Derek Carr. His first game, he looked real good. But this game, Derek Carr looked like the old Derek Carr, and that's not going to be prosperous for the Saints going forward. Despite the fact that with the win, they ran their record to 2-0. Carolina fell to 0-2. But I think the Saints will be okay. But if Derek Carr does not get his stuff together, the Saints will really have a longer season than their 2-0 record would suggest right now. And again, it's week 2. Looking at the schedule, I know that the Saints they come to Green Bay to play my Packers, so I think that'll be a tough test for him. If Derek Carr plays the way he played tonight, let's hope our defense plays well enough and we'll squeak out with a win. Back to the Panthers. Miles Sanders, who came over, the former Philadelphia Eagle, had 14 carries for 43 yards. Adam Thielen, the former Viking, had 7 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. He looked good in spurts, and I felt like he would have a decent game last night. I just didn't know whether they would just keep him out in the slot, or or put him out wide. But they moved him around pretty good, and he got a couple catches that Bryce Young put on him, and he made a way to get those 54 yards that he did get, and that touchdown. Like I said, the game was a whole lot closer than it needed to be, and I gotta give the Panthers defense a whole lot more credit than I gave them to start off with. So going forward, Panthers can get their defense together. I can see them getting a win or two this season. And that is pretty much it for our Monday night recap. Like I said, biggest news of Monday night was the fact that Nick Chubb left that game with the horrific knee injury that he did. Again, prayers up for Nick Chubb, prayers up for the Cleveland Brown family, because that is a major blow, not only to a stand-up, outstanding guy. It is a big blow for the Cleveland Brown offense. Although Ford, I looked at the report, Ford will be the feature back going forward. But Nick Chubb is, to me, probably one of the most guys that you can't just replace in your offense. And with the fact that Deshaun Watson still does not look right, I guess the Cleveland Browns will be the same old Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry, Browns fans, for saying that, but again, when I'm in front of this microphone, or I'm in front of the camera, or I'm in front of your face and we talking sports, I am a realist, and that is all I know how to be. So again, to end this, I will simply say, again, subscribe to Sport Breaks here on Spotify and wherever you are getting your podcasting from. It will cost you not 1 cent. Also, like the content, go back and listen to any episode that you want to listen to. Comment on it. I did a whole write-up, speak up of the NFL, all 32 teams, and their win-loss records. And going back, looking at it and listening to it myself, I am wrong on a lot of them. But hey, that's just the world of sports. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, and it is what it is. Also, Follow me on every major social media outlet, YouTube, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, Twitch. I am on all of it. I am getting myself together to upload possibly daily. And like I said before, I will be interviewing uh, athletes soon. So I will definitely be sending out messages soon and seeing if I can get a few people in. And again, the more people subscribe, the more likes, the more comments, the more I'm gonna do, the more I'm gonna ramp up my posting, my videos, my vlogs, everything. So stay tuned, stay prepared, and just get ready for a lot from me, okay? As always, to end my day, if it ain't sport breaks, it ain't about shh. Knowledge, world. Peace.